Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is Zillafan85, back today doing my newest video, doing another figure review. And for today's video, I'm reviewing my Bandai Creation King Caesar figure. And yes, I picked this guy up on eBay a little while back. I really actually happen to like this figure. The only other one of King Caesar that I had before was the Gashapon one, which I really do like a lot as well. I just wanted a standard size figure. Now I was looking, kind of tossing back and forth between this one and the Bandai Japan figure. However, I just happened to... Just personally, I like this guy better. I just like the way that he was designed and what have you better than the Bandai Japan version. You know, and of course, we know King Caesar, his first appearance was from the 1974 film Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla, and then otherwise in film you didn't see him again until Godzilla Final Wars, but this obviously is based on his original 1974 incarnation, so the Showa King Caesar. And this is the version that I really like. I wasn't too thrilled about his Final Wars design. I thought it looked kind of strange to me, but I definitely love his Showa design. And I love King Caesar a lot in general. I think he's a pretty awesome monster. I love his roar. You know, it's that reused roar from the Toho King Kong. And of course, he's got that ability to reflect beam weapons from his enemies. So, like when he uses the rainbow beam, you know, against MechaGodzilla, uses his own beam against him in their battle. You know, and he was a big help against Godzilla. So, you know, he's definitely awesome, and I love his theme song as well. So, not going to get into too much more detail regarding King Caesar himself or Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla, because I did kind of cover that a bit when I reviewed my Gashapon version of him. So let's go ahead and jump on into this guy here. So we'll start with the paint job as usual. So the main part of his body, as you can see, he's got that nice sort of dirty brown skin tone to him. It actually looks really, really good. The Bandai Japan version had like a lighter brown one, but I think this looks better, just in my opinion, because it looks more like he was, you know, buried inside the mountain where they discovered him. So, you know, obviously would have a lot of dust and rock covered on him, and I think it looks really nice, honestly. So I definitely love that dirty brown all around him. Then you've got on like on the top of his head here and going down his neck and top part of his back, as well as on his shoulders and chest. You've got that mane that he's got, which has that sort of like a cream tannish, goldish color, I would say. I think it looks pretty cool. I really like it. So you can kind of take a look all around there, and he's got that same, you know, for the fur, he's got that same on his backside here, and of course on his tail there, as you guys can see. On his elbows here, both elbows have that, and on the sides of his legs, on the sides of his knees, he's got that as well, and of course on his ankles here. So very, very nicely done there. I think for a Bandai Creation figure, I personally think they did a really nice job with this. And then otherwise for the coloring, where he's got sort of that gem thing on his forehead, you see it's got like a light blue color to it. It looks pretty good. The pupils are like this reddish color. Or the eyes, I should say, are this reddish color with these black pupils. The one drawback, and I've seen another review as well where they kind of nitpicked at it, that it would have been better if it was the solid red color, because that's really what it should be for King Caesar. It's like those, basically like those jewels that he's got for eyes. So it should have basically just been a solid red color. I think that would have looked better. But it's not too bad. That's sort of my biggest nitpick with it, I think. Then for the teeth here, as you can see, he's got that almost off-white color for the teeth. So that looks pretty nice with sort of black in between. Or at least this darkish, you know, like a dark red or even like a blackish color for in between the teeth there. But it gives it some nice definition, so I like that. And then, of course, the finger claws and the toe claws have this sort of nice tannish, dirty bone color, and you can see they used like some darker shadings on it as well, just to make it look, a little bit dirtier. It's like black in places. A little bit strange. You got some black like on his palms here. A little bit odd looking, but it's not too bad. Then of course you can see on the feet too, almost some sort of reddish color there. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but it looks pretty cool nonetheless. I like it. So that pretty much covers it for the paint job on him. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the detail. So pretty much segues in. You've got his scaling, that signature King Caesar scaling that he's got all around his body. I think they did a nice job with it here. The detail for that is pretty nice. You can definitely feel the different grooves for his scales all around on his chest and his legs, and of course on his back, like this sort of rocky scaling feel to it. Because he's like almost like a rocky sculpture come to life, basically, or at least in some ways it kind of seems like that. So that looks really nice. Again, you've got the mane here with some nice detailing for that, the way that they etched it on. I definitely like the way that they did it, and it's not just like a flat pattern. You see that they actually had it so that it kind of should represent. I mean, I know it's just basically plastic, but it's supposed to represent like his mane. So I think they did a nice job with that. And of course, you got that on the shoulders, on the knees and ankles, and of course on the tail, which the tail definitely looks really, really nice. I definitely like the way that they designed that there. Very, very, very indicative of King Caesar's tail. It's nice and elongated and bushy, and it looks really good on him, I think. And then, of course, you got the ears, the big floppy ears that he's got with that weird patterning on the top of his head there. And, of course, again, like I said, with that sort of jewel object on his forehead, as you can see, along with this almost sort of horn that he's got. Of course, with the eyes, and again with the detailing for the mouth and the teeth, and that sort of the big nose that he's got, the nostrils detailed there. So very nice detail on the face, at least I think so anyways. The finger claws and the toe claws have a nice sort of sharpish sort of feel to them, so they look really good. All around, just very, very nice detail work, I think so. I think especially for a Bandai Creation figure, I think they just did a really nice job with him. And then for articulation, the other thing that I like to look at, if there is any, and yes, he does have some basic articulation. The arms can swivel. You're not going to get them just because of the way that the design is here with the placement of the arms. You're not going to get them to go all the way around, but they can swivel out, as you can see there. I wouldn't go too far because it does kind of rub against the skin, but they can swivel out and in like that. So you can put them in some different poses there. The ears, they also rotate, and they can go all the way up. So if you want to get him in that sort of alert pose that he's got, which that's a very, very cool, little little added detail there to be able to have the posability for the ears. I definitely like that. So that looks pretty good, and it can go further. I wouldn't go too much further because I don't think it's really meant to go further back, but you can do that, and then of course it can go back down like so. So pretty nice that you can actually do that with him. And the tail also can rotate, and that can go all the way around as well, the 360 for him. For the tail, I should say. Other than that, it would almost seem like the legs can move, but for mine they don't. My belief is that it's a glue seal. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that it's glue sealed for the legs, so I wouldn't mess with those. But you got a few points of articulation, so pretty basic, but it to me it gets the job done, and I definitely like it for what it is. So that pretty much covers it for sizing. which I don't mess with too much, as many of you may know who do follow along with my other videos. But he is a standard size figure, so he's in that 6-inch range, basically 6 to 7 inches tall. So he'll scale in well with other figures in that size range. So definitely looks good on a shelf, especially with other with other Showa kaiju and what have you. So you can definitely find this guy on eBay. I know he used to be sold in like comic book stores and Toys R Us when that was around, and other stores as well. I don't know if you can still find him in store, but I know he's definitely available online. I've seen him in plentiful on eBay and what have you, and he shouldn't be too pricey. You should be able to pick him up for less than $30. So I would say 25 to 30 is probably a reasonable price range that you'll be paying for him. He's not perfect, but I think he's a very nice figure. I think Bandai Creation did a really nice job with King Caesar here, and I definitely recommend it. So other than that, that pretty much covers it for the video. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. I definitely want to thank you so much for watching. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.